We are live now. We're just going to wait a few seconds to let more people join our Instagram live. Seeing we just press live. We want to make sure people on the East Coast in the U.S. are able to join our Instagram live. We also want to make sure people in the Midwest, down south, on the West Coast are able to join. So as more people are joining, I wanted to briefly introduce who I am and then some of the logistics of ACN's summer school program, because we are live on Instagram today. It is 5 p.m. here in Norway. The sun's still up a little bit, but we wanted to make sure all you Americans who are thinking about studying abroad had the opportunity to join our Instagram live today. So I'm joined by two of the instructors for summer school, and we're going to get more into introductions quickly. But I see tons of people joining. We have so many people are waving. People are requesting to be in the video. But if you have any questions, feel free to type them below. I'm going to read them as they come in so I can remember them and throw them at our lecturers, or I can answer them myself too. So my name is Nick Favaro. I am ACN's Marketing and Activities Coordinator. And for all you Americans that are thinking about studying abroad in Norway, I will be one of your first contact points here at ACN. We work really hard to make sure that the students that come from Norway and from the U.S. or all over the world really get a great introduction to what we do. So for you Americans, I'll send you tons of information about Norway prior to, so you can start planning some trips. I'll also send you information about arrival, so we can give you really good information about how to get from the airport to get down to Moss. We'll have a service to pick you up at the bus stop here, take you to the grocery store, a lot of these things in the very beginning. We work really hard to make sure that there's not so many obstacles in the beginning, because we've all been there before. We've studied abroad, so we want to make sure your transition from the United States to Norway is as smooth as possible. So I'm one of the contact points you'd be utilizing, and we'll plan some trips together and do various things. And I'll be here this summer to help you, so don't worry. But we're here today to talk about our summer school program. So we're focusing on really making sure that you Americans out there find a program that's right for you. So that's why we want to get our instructors here to just talk about their classes, so that way you get really good information before the application deadline if you're really considering it. So before I dive into that, I had one last disclaimer, and that is we have our open house coming up this Friday here at ACN, Friday, March 13th. So that is a day where anyone that is interested in attending ACN from Norway, if you want to book a last-minute flight and come, you're more than welcome. But obviously, mostly Norwegians come, or people living in Norway come to the open house. But you can still sign up. You can just write me an email, nick@americancollege.no, if you want to come. It starts at 3 o'clock on Friday. You'll get a tour of the campus. You'll meet some instructors. You'll also meet the students that study here. You'll get a great overview of our program. And we'd love for you to come. So join the fun. But if you can't make it, because let's say you're like way far north, you're from like Hammerfest or Alta or something way far north in Norway, and Svalbard or something, we are going to live stream the first section of the program. So you'll learn more about ACN, what we do, so tune into that. But with further ado, we're going to talk about ACN's summer school program. Now, our summer school program is an awesome way for you to get a taste of Norwegian culture, because our classes that are going to be taught by these two incredible faculty members are really developed to be rich in Norwegian culture. And it's a really great way to see Norway, see things in the classroom, learn about Norway, acting, various things, and then go to these sites on the field trip. So some of the highlights of our program are, well, first of all, the dates. It's going to start May 19th and go until June 12th. So it's a 4-week summer program. There's 2 classes, hence why there's 2 instructors with me. Both classes are each worth 3 credits. So you can get 6 credits in 4 weeks. They are U.S. credits, so you don't have to worry about transferring them back, really. It's super simple to do, and we'll help you with that process. Classes are taught in English, and they're very interactive. So you're going to get really, have a really fun time just, learning things in class and then going on the field trips. But in addition to that, you're going to get a 30-day train pass from Oslo to Moss. So that means you don't have to worry about paying for the train for the field trips to Oslo. And your field trips are covered with your fees. And if you want to go to Oslo after classes one day when it's not a field trip day, you're free to do that. So that's another great benefit of the program. And last but not least, if you really want to come to our summer school program, March 15th is the application deadline. That is crucial because we want to make sure that you get here. So go to our Instagram bio. The link is there. It's super simple. You just fill it out, and once you apply, we're able to give you an answer more than likely within a week. So fill that out and apply today. But now I'm going to take a step back from all the logistics of this Instagram Live, and I wanted to introduce our instructors. So they're going to give a brief introduction of who they are, where they're from, and then they're really going to dive into what their classes are like for this summer. So, without further ado, I wanted to introduce Eric Todd.
Hi,
Eric
everybody.
Is a professional actor, and he's been in Norway for a couple of years, but I'm going to let him speak about what he's going to bring to the classroom and various things, and then we're going to head on over to our other instructor. So, there you go, Eric.
Hi, everybody. My name is Eric Todd. As Nick said, I'm originally from the United States, from New Hampshire. I moved to Norway about 2 years ago. I got my undergraduate in acting, and I worked as a professional actor based in New York for a few years, where I was in some TV shows and some movies. Currently, I'm a candidate for my master's at the University of Oslo in Ibsen Studies, and now I am here with this great opportunity to teach at ACN. My course is titled Story Through the Lens, Ibsen as an Influencer. Basically, the course will start off looking at Ibsen, Henrik Ibsen, and his history as being an influencer using the theater to advance different agendas, such as equal rights between genders, different social agendas, and then we will move forward looking at different social medias and how different influencers use social media, so whether it's YouTube or whether it's TikTok or Instagram. We will look at that and see how they are able to use these different social medias to advance their own agendas. Mostly we'll be looking at Scandinavian and Norwegian. We'll be doing some of our own hands-on acting. We'll be visiting some famous Norwegian actors, hopefully, and going to some of the more prominent sites that we know of here. Yeah.
Thank you, Eric. And I might want to add that Eric has starred alongside Jessica Biel in a series called The Sinner, so that's pretty cool. And now I want to introduce Lillian, who is currently an ACN instructor, and she's teaching this summer too, so here you go, Lillian.
My name is Lillian Rosa. I am a native New Yorker, but I am now probably a native Oslo resident. I've been here in this country for 30 years, so I can say I know New York like the back of my hand, but now I also know Oslo like the back of my hand. I'm currently teaching English composition and creative writing, but I'm excited about the summer course because we're going to be looking at the history of Oslo, but not just boring history. The course is entitled From Vikings to Hipsters. And you know they say size doesn't matter? It doesn't. Because when you consider Oslo compared with New York, for example, you wouldn't believe the rich history that Oslo has. We will be looking at the time of the Vikings that passed through this land. We will then move on to see how the invasion affected Oslo, how World War II, what Oslo looked like during those times. We still have some places to visit that have a commemorative plaque that reminds the people of World War II. And then we will move on to today, the hipster era. And you will get to see firsthand how beautifully Oslo is developing, the modern architecture, the street art, and how many of these places where perhaps the Germans came in through the invasion now are one of the most visited and hipster places to visit. We will also have field trips at least once a week where we will be visiting these places as well. So I'm very excited about that course.
Thank you.
I forgot to add that also in our course we will be doing a lot of hands-on with making YouTube, TikTok, Instagram videos, things that many people are already familiar with.
Very cool. So I want to encourage our viewers to send in any questions they might have. Anything from what's it like in Norway to how much does it cost, or when our class is scheduled, any logistical questions you have about the program. But I had a question that I wanted to ask Eric. And Eric is a professional actor, like he said, so he has a lot of experience doing motion pictures and starring in TV series. So, Eric, how do you think your professional acting skills and experience will really help the students that are taking this class? Because it is a theater-based course, so there will be students probably in the theater realm taking it. However, it can also work as a general credit, so we probably have students from all over the U.S. and Norway taking this class. So what can students really gain from your experience and your course?
Well, from my experience, I think that I bring to the table, obviously, all of my acting and Ibsen background, so I have a great foundation of that. I like to think that I'm pretty easy to work with, and I enjoy working with people one-on-one, and molding these different projects and these courses to what you enjoy doing and what you need to learn and take from the experience in a productive way. And I think that it's just going to be a lot of fun.
And you talked about some of these site visits, and because you have acting experience, the students are probably going to get exposure to meeting some actors here in Norway.
Yeah.
Is that the case?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We, over the course of my time here, I've met some Norwegian actors and directors, and it's a fascinating business here, and I really want to get you exposed and introduced to the world that is here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric. And like I said, send any questions. But Lillian, now, so for your summer school, because your summer school class, because you lived in Oslo for so long, what do you think some of the advantages of taking this class with you being a native New Yorker, so being an American, but having lived in Oslo? What are some of the benefits you think? What are students going to learn?
Well, I think what I would like to show the students is to see how this small city, and again I say small city because I'm a New Yorker, so when I compare Oslo to New York, Oslo's tiny, but it's so rich in history, and to see the diversity of culture in all its facets, where you have the very old architecture, for example, from the aristocratic time. And then we go to the Resistance Museum, where you then see the effects of the invasion and how that affected Norway as well. But especially the thought of the transition from a Viking era to a modern city in a culture where it's such a peaceful country. That's a fascinating concept that I think we need to look at. How is it that this land of the Vikings, who were considered to be somewhat violent, somewhat aggressive, this country has now become such a peaceful country. And Oslo is developing. It's actually, I think, a year ago, considered one of the fastest growing, fastest developing cities in Europe. So I want to show you, because of the fact that I've seen it firsthand, having been here for 30 years, and I've seen how it has grown, it'll be so much fun for me to show you some of the older parts, as well as then showing you how much it has changed in the time I've been here.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. And I will add, because we've had this course before, and usually how the summer school works is you'll have classes, usually there'll be one class from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, then you have an hour break, and then you'll have a class from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and those are when you have classes here at ACN. But you can take 1 or 2 classes, depending on how you want your experience to be, but one of those classes during the week is going to be spent in Oslo doing these field trips. So the plan of attack will be that you'll meet up at the school and you'll walk down to the train station together, which is like a 10-15 minute walk from ACN, super easy to get to. We'll hop on the train, we'll go up to Oslo and we'll spend, the morning doing something that might be related to Eric's course, or Lillian's, or together they'll be related. And then we'll have a lunch break somewhere. And because we have so much experience, we know some really cool hipster places to go for lunch, really cool food halls that used to be swimming pools that Oslo, changed into a new space because they're all about restoration and saving buildings and not tearing down, but restoring them and renewing them. And it's really, environmentally friendly place. So we know a lot of this stuff. So we're really going to show you the ins and outs, and then you'll go somewhere in the afternoon and you'll see some various sites, and we have some awesome field trips already planned. So we'll probably visit like the Folk Museum, which is like a open air museum where you'll see Norway from the past, which will tie into both of the classes. There's also an Ibsen, the Doll's House there, correct?
Yeah.
And you'll learn so much about Norway. We'll probably do that one of the first weeks because it's a great understanding of Norwegian culture. But we have other cool things planned. We'll go on a street art walking tour. We'll show you some of the murals in the city. But it's really interactive because you'll be learning these things in class, and then when you're in the city, you see them firsthand. And it's been so fun to see the students light up when they're like, "Oh, Nick, Lillian, Eric, we saw this in class and now it's right there. How cool is this?" So it's super interactive, and that's what I think our program really thrives on, is being hands-on and new and inventive. So when the students come here, it's not really like your traditional summer school where it's just lecture-based. You'll go to the class and you'll have maybe an assignment, and the instructors will say, "Okay, you can work in class, you can go outside, go to the park, meet back in an hour, and then we'll chat about what you discovered." Because they want to also make sure that when you come here, you have the opportunity to explore Norway when you have the weekends. So you can go to Bergen for the weekend, you can go on fjord tours, you can go down to Sweden because it's really close, or Copenhagen or something like that. So it is really crafted to give you a real authentic Norwegian experience. So I know we've been talking so much about this and we're really trying to get you on board, but if you are even considering this, I would definitely recommend applying, because every year when we do this, the students, when they fill out the evaluation, they always say, do you have any regrets, or what do you recommend to future students? They always say, "No regrets, best summer of my life. I wish I would have stayed longer." So a lot of the students that come here for the summer will then try to go on a semester-long program from their home universities, because they got that first little taste of going abroad. And we're such a family here. We're really, there for the students, and it really gives students the experience to go out there and see more. So definitely just apply. And if you want to talk to any other students that have done it, just hit me up. Send us a DM on Instagram, and we'll easily connect you to some students. And
may I add a comment?
Yeah, of course.
One more thing about the summer courses. If the climate cooperates, which it kind of usually does, but since climate is so unpredictable these days, May and June are the absolute most beautiful months of the year to be in Norway. Everything is in full bloom. This country is absolutely beautiful. And so if we will be taking field trips to show you, there's nothing better than to see Oslo and experience it in all of its glory. So it's a good time of the year to come.
Sorry, I'm just looking at some of the comments and things coming through because I wanted to see if there's any questions that come in. Oh, someone said, "Hi, see you on Friday." Good to hear. We will see you on Friday. Lillian will actually be here on Friday, so you get to chat with her and learn more about what it's like to study here at ACN. Let me see if there's any other questions. There aren't. So I'm going to say goodbye, but if our instructors have anything else they want to say,
I can't think of anything at the moment. I'm really excited to work with each and every one of you that comes over here. It's going to be super fun, interactive, and the course is designed to have fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know that you won't regret it. You absolutely will not regret it. So we hope to see as many as possible.
So yeah, that's really a taste of what we're going to do. And if you just see like the way we work here at ACN, The instructors work collaboratively, so everything is really bundled up in this nice package where your experience are really enhanced. And if you do have any questions, like I said, send us a DM or send an email to nick@americancollege.no. But if you want to chat with our instructors, I will leave their contact details in this post afterwards because they'll happily answer your questions. And after we have the deadline, we'll give you some more information because you need to apply because we want you to come. So I want to thank Eric and Lillian for partaking in this Instagram Live today. I want to thank our viewers for tuning in. And have a great morning, Americans. And have a good evening for the Norwegians that watched us. And for those that are coming to the open house on Friday, we can't wait to welcome you to ACN. And thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.